Digital education at the University of Michigan is various things. First and foremost, I think it's how we use digital technology to enhance the teaching that we do on campus, how we use online learning to make it possible to do even more engaged learning, and that's very important. We also want to use digital education in some kinds of non-degree programs. For example, in our executive education program, there's a blended approach to learning, some digital and some face-to-face. And finally, I think digital education is very important to us for outreach to the broader world. And there we're talking about using MOOCs to reach out around the world and provide some of what we know and some of what we can share to people who otherwise would have no access to the kind of teaching that we do here in Ann Arbor. You know, I often talk to people about the world we're facing today. And it's a world that's been described by my colleagues in the business school as a VUCA environment. VUCA means volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And you might as well throw in global as well. So we're in a VUCA plus global environment. We need to teach students to be successful in that environment. And that means that we really need to engage them in that learning. You don't learn how to deal with a complex and ambiguous environment that requires you to take risks by being lectured to and being told you should take risks. You develop the confidence you need for taking risks by working in a risky situation and either succeeding or failing and then getting some close mentoring about why you succeeded and why you failed. You don't learn how to synthesize the multiple perspectives you need to synthesize to deal with complexity by being lectured at. You learn that by actually going out and working with people whose perspectives and training is different. I think that digital education and engaged education are very much synergistic. If you look at what digital education can do on campus in the context of the residential educational experience, I think it can do a number of things. It can make the learning more personalized, more individualized. Students can spend more time on a part of a lecture that's confusing to them. They can slow it down, they can go over the material, they can find supplementary background material, and students who are more comfortable can move more quickly through the material. But importantly, it also frees up time so that in the classroom, in the face-to-face setting, the faculty can be more engaged and more hands-on, working on those parts of the material that students really need extra work with. So I think that's very important. I also think it's important to remember that digital education is more than video lectures. Digital education may mean screencasts of a professor doing the homework and showing how to work through the homework. And we have an example here on campus where one of our engineering faculty members has done that, and the students show enormous progress. Actually, progress that's correlated with the extent to which they use this exercise. It can mean online quizzes that students can practice with. It can mean the capturing of information that we feed into learning analytics systems to provide more guidance to our students. So I think that there is as I say, a real synergy between more engaged learning, which is at the heart of residential education, and increased use of digital technology. So innovation on this campus always happens because of what faculty want to do. We have wonderful faculty, and when they get excited about something, they innovate. Right now, our faculty are extremely excited about teaching, about new ways of teaching, and about innovations in teaching. And we're trying to create a culture that helps support that. How are we doing that? Well, we're doing it in several ways. First of all, we have something called the Third Century Initiative Fund. This fund provides resources to faculty who want to experiment with new ways of teaching. It might involve digital technology, it might involve flipping the classroom. There are a whole host of new projects that faculty are doing using these funds, and we're going to move fairly quickly from the small experimental projects to large transformational projects. We also have a new Office of Digital Education and Innovation, and that office, amongst other things, runs a brand new laboratory on Washington Street where people can come. There's a space for collaboration where they can work together on their projects. We have resources to videotape courses, to edit those courses once they've been videotaped. It's a wonderful facility, and I know that our faculty are going to get a lot of use out of it. A third way of innovation that I'd like to mention comes out of our Learning Analytics Task Force, which is a task force that is collecting the kinds of data that gets generated in digital education, but also in face-to-face education, and then thinks about how you can mine that data, how you can analyze it to understand student successes and student failures, and help us innovate our teaching so that we have more successes and fewer failures.